Hey, what's going on YouTube? Marine X back at it again. The Wuben X2 Pro or the Wuben X4, which one is right for you? Listen, Wuben, let me just tell you straight up. I think that you're releasing flashlights kind of quickly. I get it that you guys may have a great design that you like and you're pumping these things out. These are similar to the G5, I think is what it's called. These flashlights do offer unique capabilities, but I don't like the fact that I can't get my hands on some of your accessories. And I want some refinements done to these flashlights. That's just my small rant at the beginning of this video to talk about where I kind of want Wuben to pump their brakes a little bit. But if you're interested in the Wuben X4, which is about to drop, then I'm going to talk about it here, compare it to its older brother. I'm not going to say big brother because they're extremely similar, but its older brother, the X2 Pro. This is a unique flashlight because it does try to differentiate itself from the Wuben X2 Pro. How well does it do it? I guess we'll see here in this video. Both of these units are rocking similar emitters. Matter of fact, they have the same emitters on it. I just think that what Wuben did is that they made the emitters turn on and off through different mechanisms. Okay, so they both can get you a max output of 1500 lumens. The Wuben X4 doesn't have an option to switch between spot and flood, which means that it does feel brighter because it always have both of those on at the same time. The Wuben X2 Pro can switch between those emitters in the front, between an actual spot beam. However, I don't know if it's very efficient when it does between the switching between those two. So right now it's using just kind of like its flood feature on the X2 Pro. It can switch over to where it's using both emitters at the same time. And then you can switch it over where it's just using the spot beam. Now, the thing is they both use a side switch with a lock to activate any of the lights that you have going on. So you just have to think about, do you want the option to switch between spot and flood, or do you want to just have flood and spot at the same time? I do believe that the emitter on the X4 is just more efficient. This whole spot beam thing that they tried to do with the X2 Pro is just not that bright. The beam distance, it just doesn't feel like it's really going that far. So the X2 Pro says it can go 205 meters. Okay, I guess, but the X4 also goes 205 meters because they have the same emitters. Okay, so the side light on both of these is unique in the fact that on the X2 Pro, you can get a UV or you can get the RGB mix. Right now in the X4, it only has the RGB mix that I see on Kickstarter. Are they going to update that? I'm not sure. So when you turn on that side light, you can go from the bright light. You can bring that down. You can bring it up with the side rotator pin on the side. If you hold it down, it brings you to the RGB. You still get the same 7 RGBs that you get on the Wuben X2 Pro. So on the Wuben X2 Pro, when you switch on this side light, it's 400 lumens for the max. It can go all the way down. So I don't know the low. I think it's 2 lumens or 1 lumen. And then if you hold it down, it does switch over to the RGBs. So how useful is that? That's going to be up to you. I think I would prefer to have the UV version, which I don't have, because you can use it to look for insects on plants, to look for urine on carpet, see if a $20 bill is real, a $100 bill is real. UV light is more useful than an RGB. RGB might be useful for the green light or the red light for map reading, and then that might be about it. Maybe if you're rucking at night, you can alert somebody with a green light. So they both have their pros and cons. Neither one of them feature the feature that I want, which is when you're in one mode, I want to be able to turn on one mode. I want to be able to click this side switch, and I want it to stay on. It doesn't do that. It's one of its competitors. The Loop Gear does that. I wish it had that feature. So what they did on the Wuben X4 is that they have added the rear tail switch. So they made it a rear tail switch, which I think they're calling like a tactical switch. But now when you click this rear button, you automatically get access to the light, as long as the light is in unlock mode. If it's in lock mode, you can't get to it. On this, you don't get that same feature. What they've done on the X2 Pro is that they have it prepared for different accessories. Now, here's my issue. A lot of their accessories are not available on their website. I mean, I think they're going to be giving some accessories where you can, these 2 pins on the bottom, you're going to be able to plug stuff up and run this on some Picatinny, on rails, on an AR, or on different weapons, or run it on your helmet and be able to control it while it's on your helmet with switches. And where are the accessories, Wuben? I think we need those accessories for the X2 Pro to make sense. That also includes its bike rack and its helmet rack. I don't see either one of those on your website. I see the X1 bike rack, which X1 is very old, but they have this set up so that you can use this on your bike, on your and I think that this is going to have the same thing for the X4. It looks like they have the same pocket clip so that you can get the bike mount option. They sent it to me and I proceeded to like immediately lose it. So I don't have the bike rack accessory. It was a pretty cool feature when I had it for the 13 minutes before I lost it. But my point being is those accessories are critical. You are funding your Kickstarter. You're going to production for the flashlights. I need to see more for the accessories. Right now, what I see for the X2 Pro accessories rise is the diffusion cap. I need to see more accessories. So without all of its accessories, the X4 right now is just better, quote unquote, because it has the rear tail switch. They have improved the magnet a little bit. It's still not strong enough, but it's pretty decent when it comes. And one thing is that the Wuben X4 introduces a moonlight mode, which this thing has low emitters, but this thing, when you switch it all the way to the top, it does go to like a moonbeam mode where it goes down to basically 1 lumen, I think. So that might be useful for you. And so as it stands, they both have their pros and cons. Another thing is that when it comes to the actual batteries themselves, the X4 is using an 18650. Bigger battery, potentially longer battery life, but it's an uncommon battery, as in you can't buy these at 7-Eleven, okay? Whereas the X2 Pro is using 14500 batteries, which are the exact same size as AA's, meaning that in a pinch, you can throw 2 AA's in this flashlight and continue to use it if you're out. Let's say you're on your hunting property or something like that. You want to keep using the flashlight, then you can keep going immediately. They both do charge with USB Type-C. You expose that by going to the complete up position on the X4, which is the same as the moonlight mode. That exposes the USB-C port. The USB-C port is on the side with a rubber gasket that kind of covers it. So they are comparing and contrasting. My time with the X4 has been a little bit more enjoyable. They still have the same square shape or whatever. I do believe that the X2 Pro sits better in the pocket. They both kind of suck to be in the pocket. My only complaint about the X4 about coming out your pocket is when you pull it out of your pocket and you go to activate that rear tail switch, you do have to like fumble around and get it the right direction in your hand. If you right pocket carry this, then okay, great. Or if you pouch carry this, then great. But I normally weak side, which is my left pocket carry for the X4. The things that make Wuben appealing are the price point, the unique features they're pumping on these flashlights, but I really want the production and accessories to step up. I know these are being made in China, and I think you guys are running into hiccups with the tariffs, and I can empathize with that. But if you're going to put your flashlight in my hands to show my audience, I think that I need a little bit more when it comes to the accessories part, because if I'm going to be spending 50, $40 to $65 on a flashlight, depending on what you get, and your promotional pictures have all these helmets and bikes and tail switches and all this other crap, and I can't buy them, then they're not at their full potential. So quick change out of batteries, and you kind of want the dual features of 2 different spot beams, get the X2 Pro. If you want the bigger battery life, you want the longer actual side light. It doesn't adjust like this it doesn't adjust like the X2 Pro, but if you want the longer beam, which I actually have found to be pretty useful, they both put out about 400 lumens on the side light, then I would get the X4. That's it. It's going to be up to you. It's going to be up to you which one works. And I'm not going to tell you to go out and spend money, especially something that's on Kickstarter. Although it is fully funded on Kickstarter, this is trending on Kickstarter. The X4 is very popular on Kickstarter right now. I would still wait for this to make it to production, or maybe even wait for it to make it to Amazon, where it's shipped by Amazon, meaning that they have some in their warehouses somewhere in America. I might even wait for it to get that far in the life cycle and in the supply chain before I make my purchase. But comment down below, what do you think of the X4 and the X2 Pro? Would you pick one up? Do you already have the X2 Pro? I've seen comments in the past where people have commented they don't quite have theirs yet. Are you in that same boat? I would love to know what your comments down below. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you a part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.